The face of many settlements is shaped by their cultural heritage. But does this heritage work for development? After all, what we often see is proof that heritage is just unnecessary ballast. Our team set out to design how the face of cities can change if we actualize heritage. To improve the impact of heritage in space, we use sustainable development technologies and tools. We can use them at any time. The main thing for us is to start. And then, even in such a community, we will find points that will become points of growth and improvement. Our project includes 4 cities with which we have been working for 4 months. For these places, we are designing a research project to strengthen the impact of heritage on the development of the territories, Mykulyntsi. The wonderful town of Mykulyntsi on the Seret River has a 1,000-year chronicle history. Its heart is the Castle Hill, the place where Mykulyntsi once began, and which can be seen from any point. The 18th century Holy Trinity Baroque church and the ancient cemetery, the 16th century castle and the 18th and 19th century palace have been preserved here. Proposal 1. We are going to interact with the city on the Castle Hill. To do this, we use such tools as an organized viewpoint with augmented reality, which allows us to see the city as it used to be. We also use a system of paths that allows us to walk around the edge of the historic hill, and the hill turns into a point of interaction with the history of the place. Proposal 2. Restoration of the terraced park. The Castle Hill demonstrates a rather rare type of park, a terraced park with steep slopes down to the river. Restoration of the terraced park will create a tourist attraction and increase the aesthetic and ecological value of the site. Proposal 3. A viewpoint near the church. We propose to emphasize the landscape advantages with the help of a viewpoint and a purposeful excursion traffic that will lead to this point. In this case, the old cemetery will offer a fantastic view of the surrounding landscapes, enhanced by an observation deck. Proposal 4 concerns the palace and park perspective in Mykulyntsi, which today looks like this. We propose to recreate one of the types of historical parks, the Italian one. It is the Italian park that can emphasize and improve the area between the palace and the church. Proposal 5. When we look at the facade of the church, what do we see? It is difficult to identify architectural elements if you are not an expert. We propose to use the point of sightseeing with the technique of visual comparison to make the church speak to us. And we saw not only the facade, but also lanterna, Saint Mark the Evangelist, the volute, decorative columns, and Baroque sandriks. Olika is a small town in Volyn, whose heyday is in the distant past. A compact historical center and attractive attractions give Olyka a chance to turn into a tourist town. We propose an effective development strategy that will step by step increase the attractiveness and involve the population in the provision of services. Proposal 1. We start by creating a system of interaction with the castle. This will allow us to see the main attraction of Olyka from the outside, not just from the inside. To do this, we need purposeful movement, a sightseeing point, and a visual comparison technique. The use of these tools will allow us to deploy an outdoor exposition system that will immerse visitors in an interactive journey around the castle, draw attention to the distinctive fortification elements, and increase the time spent at the site. Proposal 2. Strengthen the tourist route in Olyka. The compact historical center and the saturation of the territory with various types of heritage sites create the preconditions for the development of a network of routes. The routes should be able to connect the historical and cultural sites of the town, from the Lutsk Gate to the ancient cemetery on the southern outskirts. In development strategies, routes should have several options. With this in mind, the empty town square of Olika takes on a completely different meaning, a multifunctional hub that directs traffic. Suggestion 3. In the next improvement, we suggest paying attention to the restoration of the park around the castle. This will increase the attractiveness of the object and enrich the public spaces of Olyka. Suggestion 4. The main tourist resource of the town is its river landscapes. We propose to update the river landscapes and give them new tourist functions. This will not only significantly affect the attractiveness of Olyka, but will also create proposals for involving the population in the provision of services. Proposal 5, Associative Photo Zone. In order to increase the time spent on the territory of Olyka and stimulate human creativity, we propose to turn the devalued castle moat into an associative photo zone. Berdychiv. The city of Berdychiv is located on the banks of the Hnilopyat River, which once influenced the formation of the cultural landscape. A landscape that has been significantly destroyed by grey ordinary buildings. So, is it possible to revitalize a grey and mundane city by breathing new life into it? The first proposal 1 concerns the actualization of the river landscape, as the involvement of the river in the active life of the community, giving it new functions. This will not only enrich public spaces and improve the attractiveness of the city, but will also emphasize the face of Berdychev. Proposal 2 concerns the creation of a river walking route, which always becomes a highlight of a place. To do this, we need access points to the water and a pedestrian route. They will connect the industrial zone with the castle hill. Proposal 3. The city's architectural code. Among the grey and mundane buildings of Berdychiv, we find architectural monuments that testify to the past fashion of decorating building facades with facing bricks. The actualization of such features is an emphasis of the city's architectural code. The architectural code is used to change the face of a place or to emphasize its characteristic features, to enhance its tourist appeal. Proposal 4. A point of interaction with the castle hill. To create a point of interaction with Berdychiv's landmark, we need a recreational area and a semi-horizontal stand. Their combination will turn an abandoned wasteland into an exhibition area. Proposal 5. Deepen the museum landscape. The legendary courtyards of Odessa or Lviv have long been the objects of sightseeing tours. Berdychev also has a similar heritage, turning the Berdychev courtyard into an ensemble museum, where the main object of the show is the heritage object itself, can not only deepen the museum landscape of Berdychev, but also create a unique offer right on the city street. Rzhyshchev. What can become a growth point for development projects in the Rzhyshchev community? How can we mitigate the established image of a dacha settlement, enrich the diversity of public spaces, and make the community more visible on tourist maps? Proposal 1 concerns the Dudkiv cemetery. The preserved burials of unknown Cossacks to the artist Valentin Zadrozhny make it a historical site. The use of heritage mainstreaming tools can turn the cemetery into a place of remembrance in the community. Proposal 2 concerns the development of bicycle routes in the direction of Ivan Hora, where there was once an ancient Russian settlement, then a medieval castle. We use bicycle paths and recreational areas. Wherever we direct the bike paths, cyclists will go. And Ivan Hora is turning into a recreational area. Proposal 3. Improving the town square. The inexpressive, grey and unremarkable central square of Rzhyshchev can play a more active role in the space and turn into a voluminous multifunctional hub. It will create and direct the diversity of traffic in the community. Proposal 4. Rzhishchev is closely associated with the name of the artist Valentin Zadrozhny. We propose to establish a stationary zone of artistic residences in his honor. To do this, we use a system of interchangeable stands and landscape improvements. This is how a wasteland can be transformed into a thematic public space called Zadrozhny's universe. Proposal 5. We have been trying to identify the site of the main architectural dominant of Rzhyshchev, the Church of the Holy Trinity, which was destroyed in the 80s. We propose to give the square more meaning, volume, and turn it into a real thematic public space with changing open-air exhibitions.